Probably the best channel of our day and age.
So, I have a story to tell you, a little something that happened to me the other day. A couple weeks ago, my clutch was giving me trouble, so we just tightened the nut on the cable to give it more um, room. But I knew that I was going to have to replace it. Little did I know that within the next week, my clutch cable would snap. I was working in North Fontana, and some of you might know what I do for a living. I go door to door, it's fun stuff like that. And some of you might know my car, my vehicle that I own. It is 2001, 13 years old. Um, it's not in the best physical or internal shape. Still working on that. Don't want to buy a new car. I had known that my clutch was going bad. I knew that, something was up. I was honestly expecting a little more time before the cable broke, but as luck would have it, it would happen to me while I was out in Fontana doing work. That's just kind of how it goes. So, I was out in Fontana working and driving around, and I feel my clutch as I'm driving, and I realize, wow, the clutch is really hard right now. Like, what's happening? I'm pressing it down, and it's just like flopping around. Like, I don't even know how that even works. I get up to a light, and the cable snaps, and I have to roll into this parking lot like a snail. Person behind me doesn't understand what's going on. I have my hazards on. The light is turning red as I'm in the middle of the intersection rolling just to get into this parking lot. I call AAA and they say, "All right, we'll send out a guy." So, guy gets there 40 minutes later and he is taking a little bit longer than I would want him to. You could tell that he had this kind of air about him that he was new at this. He was very cautious. He was very meticulous about everything that was getting hooked up on the car, about how far away the lights were on the back of the car to make sure that people could see it, to make sure that the chain was this far off the ground, and if it wasn't, then I had to bring it up one more notch, and if it wasn't, I had to bring it up one more notch. He's doing a good job. Not gonna lie, he's doing a good job. Anyways, he takes a lot longer than I would have liked. We finally get it all hooked up. We're getting in the truck to go. Address is in the GPS. So here's where it gets fun. Okay, you're gonna love this. So we're pulling out of the parking lot, and and he, we're pulling past the light to turn left, and he looks down. He looks down at the speedometer. He's resetting the miles. He's gonna reset the miles to charge me accordingly for the service. He reaches through the steering wheel to reset it as he's turning at the same time. And I don't know if you've ever tried this before, but when you're turning, if you stick your arm through the steering wheel to do something, it never goes well. I don't know if you've ever tried that. If you ever haven't, don't ever try that. His hand gets stuck in the steering wheel. So we just keep turning. We turned through we turned continuously over a center divider, through rose bushes, into oncoming traffic. We freaking go back into the parking lot successfully without hitting any cars. At that point, I was so unfazed. I was just sitting there. He's freaking out and he's apologizing and everything. And I'm just, I just kind of looked up like, so this is how it's going to be. This is how the day is going to go. Cool. I mean, I dig it. I can roll with it, you know. After that, pretty much the only thing we talked about on the way home was the fact that his hand was hurting and the fact that we didn't die. That was pretty much it. That was my car ride home. Yeah, near-death experiences. It's a thing.